What's up, guys? Welcome to this edition of a Funko Popcast. I am DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady.
And in today's episode, our special 199th episode. It's crazy how we're almost at 200, which, speaking of that, we are actually going to be recording episode 200 right after we're done recording this one, which in today's podcast, as you obviously see in the title there, but beforehand from that, we will be talking about the remaining pops for May 2023 that we didn't get to talk about when we had our top 10 list a few weeks back. We'll have the update for that top 10 list after talking about those. But then, of course, as shown in the title, we are talking about leaks / potential rumors for San Diego Comic-Con 2023 exclusives, which, I mean, you guys seem to really enjoy our leaks for Funko Ween video. It was one of our most viewed podcasts and one of the most commented podcasts with that. So, I mean, we thought, you know what? Why not just do a leaks video, I guess, or leaks podcast, I should say, on San Diego Comic-Con this time, since they are now out. Obviously, if you just want to hear about the leaks portion, there is the timestamp in the description below, and you can go straight to there. But if you want to hear us because you've never listened to one of our podcasts and seeing how entertaining we are and stuff like that, keep continuing on. But without further ado, let's kick off with the remaining Funko Pops of May 2023, which ranges from May 23rd all the way until the last day of May 31st. So kicking off on May 23rd, Entertainment Earth had announced their own exclusive pop of a Frost Giant Loki that's glow in the dark. Funko had announced the next pop art covers for Harry Potter, in which it's Hufflepuff, which will be exclusive to the Funko shop. Then on May 24th, Funko had announced their own Funko Shop exclusive Diamond Collection Pride BB-8 for the Star Wars lineup, which is a part of a pop and bag bundle with Loungefly. And then AAA Anime had announced their own exclusive pop of a Captain Levi from Attack on Titan. Then on May 25th, Hot Topic had announced their own exclusive pop of a Blacklight Casey Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the Retro Toys lineup. And then Entertainment Earth had announced their own exclusive pop of King Boomy from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Then on May 26th, Books A Million had announced their own exclusive pop of a Diamond Collection Ursula for the live-action Little Mermaid movie. Then May 29th, International DK Wrestler Day, my birthday, Target had announced their own exclusive pop of a Hawkeye pop comic covers. And then last but not least, May 31st, Funko had announced a set of pops for the Netflix series The Witcher, which features common pops of Ciri, Geralt with shield, Ciri with sword, Geralt with sword, Jaskier with a 1-in-6 hat chase, and Yennefer with exclusive pops of another Geralt with sword that will be exclusive to the Funko shop, and then Geralt with sword that's a glow-in-the-dark pop that's exclusive to Amazon. And then last but not least, Entertainment Earth had announced their own exclusive pops of Blacklight Gremlins pops featuring Gizmo and Stripe. So kicking off with the Entertainment Earth exclusive Frost Giant Loki, which this is pretty decent. I do like the overall detail involved with this pop, and it is a cool pop as a part of, I guess, the Infinity Saga, but it's more specifically, I believe, from the first Thor movie, because I believe that's when Loki would discover that he is indeed a frost giant and not actually Thor's brother. He's holding the Tesseract there, and that is what basically glows in the dark, which definitely makes sense. I mean, they did that with the other Loki pop that was also holding the Tesseract for, I believe, Avengers Endgame. Then we have the Hufflepuff pop art covers, and this is to be expected. I mean, we had the Gryffindor one with the lion announced, I believe, a month or two ago. Now we have Hufflepuff with the badger. Sooner rather than later, we will probably get Ravenclaw with the raven, and then Slytherin with the snake. And I mean, if you're a Harry Potter fan and you already got the Gryffindor one, you might as well get the Hufflepuff one, the Ravenclaw when it eventually releases, and Slytherin to have all four. Then we have the Pride BB-8 from Star Wars. That's a Diamond Collection pop. And this is not too bad. I mean, the colorway looks pretty decent, especially because you obviously got more than just orange and white like you see with a normal BB-8. And I don't know how I feel about the glitter aspect to it for Diamond Collection, but it's all right, I guess. And Funko never really actually announced the Pride Pops for Star Wars this year on social media, which is a little bit surprising, but maybe we will get those announcements at some point this month, considering that now, since we are in June, it is Pride Month. So maybe that's when they'll be announcing it, along with other licensors with Pride-themed pops. And then we have ourselves Captain Levi from Attack on Titan. And this is a pretty decent pop, especially because I can definitely tell, even though that I have not seen Attack on Titan yet, he actually does have the ODM gear, which is something you can currently use in the game Fortnite, which is pretty funny. It's actually kind of cool to see a Attack on Titan pop with the ODM, kind of knowing what an ODM gear is. So that's pretty decent. And then we have the Blacklight Casey Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is pretty decent. I mean, I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a cool idea to have Blacklight, and the pop here is pretty cool. I do feel there may be a little bit too much like pinks and purples, but I mean, that might not be what MD Shady says because his favorite color is purple, so I don't think he'll really mind that, but who knows. And then we have King Boomy from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and this is a pretty detailed pop. I'm loving what they've done here with like the goatee. You have the kind of, I don't know if it's supposed to be like birthmarks or moles going on in the face there on the top of the head and near the nose. That's pretty cool. And how his eyes are like partially shut for both, but one's more closed than the other. So I really like that attention to detail. And then we have the Diamond Collection Ursula from the live action Little Mermaid, which I've heard mixed reviews about the movie since it has been out for about, I think, a week now, maybe a week and a half at this point. This is not too bad. I don't know how I feel about this being glitter or Diamond Collection, but nonetheless, it kind of does bring out the black dress and tentacles there. So I guess that's cool. And then the hair, you can really see it in, and especially the eyeshadow. And then we have Hawkeye, the pop comic covers announced on my birthday. And this is an all right pop. I mean, it does match the cover, so that's pretty cool. But I felt like for this also, it shouldn't have been a comic cover just for the sake that it's also a part of that Avengers collection set that you normally would see as pop and pin bundles exclusive to Amazon. Now you have it as the pop comic covers and it's exclusive to Target. So it is a bit weird if, let's say, you're trying to get all these at the same time. You can't get all of them from Amazon. You have to go to Target now to get this one. But especially with the way that this pop is placed and you have that base along with it, that I feel like this should have been just a regular 4-inch pop and not the comic covers, and we could have gotten a comic covers for a different Marvel character, especially one that hasn't been made into pop form yet. And then we have the Netflix Witcher pops, which these are all right. There are a lot of Geralt pops, which I mean, it is to be expected with that. I feel like the chase is a little bit lackluster for the one character because of the hat, but maybe there's significance, but maybe not. And then there is the glow-in-the-dark pop, which I think it's okay. It's better than a lot of glow-in-the-dark versions of existing characters, considering that basically it is a different sword than what he's holding in all three of the pops we're looking at here, and it's got a different tip so that it shows off the glow-in-the-dark aspect. And then last but not least, for May 2023, it is the Blacklight Gremlins pops, and these are some pretty cool pops, not gonna lie. These are cool colorways for both characters, especially Stripe. Maybe Gizmo, I kind of wish that maybe he had a little bit of blue or something and more brighter colors, maybe some green, but maybe they didn't add blue because obviously it is Gizmo with the 3D glasses, so you already have the blue in the one lens. But nonetheless, these pops do look good under Blacklight because Entertainment Earth did post a video of actually showing off the pops and actually testing it out with the Blacklight, and the Stripe is absolutely amazing with the colors, especially the green just pops out so well.
All right, starting off with the Frost Giant Loki. This looks pretty sweet. I really enjoy how the red pops on the eyes with that like baby blue color for the skin. So yeah, overall, pretty sweet pop of Loki. We have been getting quite a few Lokis over the last, like, let's say, I don't know, 2 years, but I definitely think that this one is one of the top tier of the ones that we've seen recently. And then we have the Hufflepuff pop, and this is cool. I like this idea for the Harry Potter pops, whether it is that you want to get all of the houses or you just want the one that you resonate with the most. I think that it's a great idea, and I feel like Harry Potter fans are definitely going to love this set of pops. Then we have the Pride BB-8, and I actually quite enjoy this, though usually the Pride pops I think are like, they're a good idea. I just don't really care for them too much. I think that this one's great because it's not just like a rainbow colored pop where the whole thing is rainbow colored. It's actually like color blocked, I suppose is the way you could say that, where the different like intricate parts of BB-8 are different colors, which I think is a great idea rather than just having it be a whole rainbow pop. And then we have Captain Levi, and yeah, this is cool now that I see an Attack on Titan pop that I actually know of the character due to Fortnite, like DK had mentioned, and he does have the ODM gear, which is sweet. I love using that in Fortnite. Yeah, this pop looks sweet. If I was a fan of Attack on Titan, I would definitely like this. I think that the base is good. I love how he's in that flying position with it. It looks perfect for the character. Then we have the Hot Topic exclusive Blacklight Casey Jones, and this is pretty dang sweet. I'm a little upset about it because I don't really want to go down the rabbit hole of having to collect Blacklight Turtles pops, but at the same time, I love me some Turtles and I love me some Blacklight, so it's something that I might actually have to do. There is a little bit too much purple, like DK said, where you have the hair, the gloves, and the pants being purple. I think that maybe like the pants could have been blue instead, considering I think Casey Jones wears jean pants, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have the character from Avatar, which I'm forgetting his name. This is pretty sweet. I mean, the detail here looks awesome. This almost looks like a custom pop because of how good it looks. I love how you have the blemishes on his face. He has those defined cheekbones. The eyes look really good. Makes him look old, but he's also jacked, as you can see by the torso. And yeah, there's quite a bit going on here as terms to detail. So this is definitely a really cool Avatar pop. And then we have the Diamond Collection Ursula from the live action movie. And I actually enjoy this. I think this is pretty good. I love how you have the hair, you have the like mascara, I guess it is, as well as the body being Diamond Collection. I think that that's great. You don't need the face to be Diamond Collection or anything like that. And then we have the Hawkeye comic covers, and this is pretty great. I like this. I mean, it's not a new Wolverine, which is good. I've definitely had my gripes with seeing too many Wolverines, though Wolverine is one of my favorite characters from the Marvel Universe. But this looks good. The pop matches the cover pretty dang well, which I really enjoy. And then we have the pops for the Netflix The Witcher. These pops look pretty good. I feel like a lot of these probably aren't going to sell well. That Chase version is a little bit lackluster, but I also do like it. I think he looks cool with the hat. The Amazon exclusive one is a little lackluster in my opinion. I get it. There's probably a significance with the sword, but it is almost exactly that second pop that we see in this wave of pops, but you don't have whatever it is, that like energy kind of shield that's going on there. And then lastly, we have the Gremlins Blacklight pops, and I was super excited to see these. Love Gremlins, and I love Blacklight, like I've already said once previously in this. So I think these look great. They both look really good. The purple and the pink for the fur on Gizmo, I think, is pretty smart. I like that colorway. And then you have Stripe or the Gremlin. That looks amazing too. I love how the green really pops, and they use the oranges and pinks very, very well.
All right, so now we're going to move on to our segment, The Update, the segment that we didn't think was going to come back in 2023, but it actually came back last month, and somehow we're here this month. Of course, for those that might not know, The Update is the segment where we update the top 10 list that we had previously made, but now that we are over and done with May 2023, that we can possibly add these pops to the list to officially be the top 10 of May 2023. So how we're going to do this is that we're going to read basically only what has been updated. So example, if let's say your top 5 from the previous week was the same, we don't mention that top 5. It's only up until number 6. You get the drip. So I'll start off with mine. So coming in now at number 10 is the Amazon exclusive Hera Syndulla in X-Wing Pop Rides, which was originally number 9 last list. I was going to say last week. Coming in at number 9 is the GameStop exclusive Battle Damage General Grievous, which was originally number 8 in the previous list. And now coming in at number 8, and it's the only pop that I added for this new updated list, and that is the Entertainment Earth exclusive Blacklight Stripe. I really love the colors that are involved, especially that green. The green pops off really well, and then the other colors also pop off really nicely. But that green, especially taking the blacklight to it, and after seeing that video, made me need to add this pop to this list.
All right, now moving on to my top 10 list. Now coming in at number 10, originally at number 8, is the Funko NFT Harvey Dent. Coming in at number 9 is the Peter Pan poster. Coming in at number 8 is the Corpse Bride moment. Coming in at number 7, originally number 5, is the Darth Vader. Coming in at number 6, originally number 4, is the Ozzy Osbourne. And now coming in at number 5, I have the Blacklight Gizmo. And coming in at number 4 on my list, I have the Blacklight Stripe. Adding the Gizmo and the Stripe, I think, is super necessary. If you don't know the top 3, definitely go check out the previous podcast to find out what my top 3 are, because those are some amazing pops as well.
Alrighty, so now the moment you guys were waiting for, exactly why we're here today. Potential leaks have been posted for San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, San Diego Comic-Con, one of the usual big 3 conventions for Funko, which these were posted by Scarlet Joker and Funko Info, which, take into account, these have not officially been confirmed by Funko as of yet. Nothing is confirmed until Funko officially posts that. But MD, are you ready for this list?
Absolutely. I mean, there can be some crazy heat in here, so I'm excited to hear what we got.
Okay, so the first one that actually I just realized is not on the list, but I seen a different photo. I thought I would mention it, is that there's going to be a Demon Slayer 2-pack, which involves Tanjiro, and I can't remember the other person's name. I'll throw up a photo right now. It's his master, and he wears that red mask with like the long nose. I know you probably don't know what I'm talking about, MD, because I don't think you've seen Demon Slayer, but I know that other pop that goes to Tanjiro is something that I think Funko has needed to make for a while now, so it's cool that he's finally getting his own pop.
Yeah, I got no clue, but the Demon Slayer pops always look awesome, so if it is true, I'm sure they will look amazing.
So the next pop, going to the anime theme, and that's how I thought about Demon Slayer at first, was a new pop for Black Clover, and it's Nasal Silva. Have no idea who this character is, but this does seem promising. I mean, there was that one pop from, I believe, CCXP that was announced. I forget the character's name, but it had like the tongue sticking out. And I mean, if it's as detailed as that, then I guess it seems to be a good exclusive thus far.
Yeah, I mean, we don't get very many Black Clover pops, so I'm sure fans of it will be super excited for it.
The next pop is for A Bug's Life, and it's of Heimlich. Now, I was a little disappointed to see that it's not Hopper, considering that when we did our San Diego Comic-Con 2023 predictions video, that is what I had predicted was Hopper, but I did get right, at least according to this list, that there will be a Bug's Life pop, and that it may be the new, I guess, Emperor's New Groove, as terms do. We're going to be getting those like for basically every Comic-Con going forward until they decide not to make anymore. But the only thing I could think of, because as I'm looking at this, there's no photo, so I'm just looking at words. The only thing I could think of as terms to Heimlich that is different from the OG Heimlich is at the end of the movie where he's more bluish and that he has his butterfly wings. I think that's the only Heimlich I could think of that they could possibly do here.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. I actually did see a picture with some of these leaks now that I think about it. So I definitely saw that Heimlich is a potential and super excited about it. And hopefully it is the butterfly wings, because I feel like that would look awesome, especially now with how much Funko is kind of upgraded in their sculpting process and stuff like that since we've seen the first Heimlich pop.
Next, we have a pop for the Dungeons and Dragons movie, and it's Bahamut. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and it's more of a dragon type, so kind of similar to, I believe, Tiamat, which is pretty decent. I actually, once again, this is one of those things where I believe in my predictions video, if I'm not mistaken, or in our predictions video, because both MD and I were in it, that I did say that I would predict a Dungeons and Dragons movie pop, and that's exactly the case here, and not Dungeons and Dragons game, but I had predicted, I believe it was Snow Owl or Owl Bear. I almost said Snow Owl Bear because it's white in the movie, I believe, from what I seen in the trailer, and not like brown like the NFT pop.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by this. I think that it'll look great because the D&D pops always do look good, whether it is for the movie or for the actual game itself. So I'm pretty excited to see this, yet to see the movie, but it is something that I want to check out.
And then listed here, we have 6 DC Comics pops, in which 3 of them are the same character, and it's Superman. Superman Variant 1, Superman Variant 2, and Superman Variant 3. And then listed here is, I believe that says Talia al Ghul, The Question, and Trigon, which I don't know any of the last few characters, but I do recognize like the Al Ghul because there was the Ra's al Ghul, I believe, from San Diego Comic-Con 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Trigon, I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't remember what Trigon looks like. But then the Superman variants, this one really intrigues me because is it like the same Superman, but different colorways to where it could possibly be going to different retailers? Like one will go to Target, one will go to Walmart, one will go to Hot Topic. Or is it three different Supermans from different movies? Like, could we get, let's say, for example, Superman from a comic, and then Superman from a DC movie, and then Superman from like some sort of weird mashup?
Yeah, I remember seeing that there was going to be 3 different Superman pops, and I was like, huh, that's very interesting. Hopefully it will be pretty sweet. I'm sure they will be decent. If it is just color variants, then I think that's kind of where it can get to the point where it's kind of meh. But besides that, they should be pretty good pops. And for the other characters, yeah, Trigon sounds super familiar to me, but I'm sure DC fans are going to be excited about this.
Next up is for the games lineup, and it's for Diablo 4, and it's Lilith. This is interesting because I believe Diablo 4 is the newest Diablo game, and it just came out this year. So it's interesting that Funko is diving. Well, it's surprising, but not surprising that they're diving into this, especially because I feel like they haven't really done much for the other previous Diablo games.
I wouldn't be surprised if we do see more Diablo 4 hops. I've heard good things about the game. One of my coworkers just got it. I believe it came out like a week or 2 ago. I could be wrong about that though. But I mean, Diablo is a wicked series, so I'm sure we could see some amazing pops come from Funko with this.
Then we have an Add Icons pop, and it's a new Tony the Tiger from Frosted Flakes. Now, I have no clue where they would go with this because they've done the retro Tony the Tiger from like the 60s and 70s, which both MD and I do own. It's one of, if not maybe the only ad icon I actually own in my collection. And then obviously you have the more current version, at least from my mind, that's non-flocked and flocked from the Funko shop. And then there's like the sunglasses one from Funko Hollywood that I now am remembering. But like, what's next? Like maybe it could be like, is Tony the Tiger holding a box of Frosted Flakes? Like, I want to know your take since you are the ad icon guy out of the two of us.
So I remember when I seen the picture for these leaks that someone mentioned what they thought it could be. I can't remember what it was though, but what I'm hoping that it is one of 2 things, and they're very similar. From the commercials, I would really, really love to see it be Tony the Tiger in his like ice hockey gear where he has the helmet on and he's got like a stick. I think that would be really sweet. And then the second one would be like the soccer gear, because I believe he wears soccer gear. I wouldn't be surprised if he's worn like basically every sports gear, but I do specifically remember the hockey commercial and the soccer commercial. So one of those 2 would be great. Obviously, us being Canadian, loving hockey, a hockey Tony the Tiger would be wicked.
And then for Galaxy Quest, we have Dr. Lazarus. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. I don't remember if I think that's a movie, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I think I actually have it on VHS, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think I've actually watched it. So I might have to check that out and maybe be excited for this pop after that.
Going back to the games lineup, we have a pop for Horizon Zero Dawn, and it's Aloy. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, now as I think about it, because I was thinking, have they done Horizon Zero Dawn pops? And I think they did with the like PlayStation lineup. So the box would say PlayStation. And I believe, because I recognize the name, it was like a pop rides that they did. So maybe I believe it was that character with the rides. Now it's a singular one.
Yeah, this is interesting because we don't see a ton of pops, obviously, for Horizon. And it's a game that I seem to always forget about, but I feel like the first pop that we had looked really cool. So hopefully this one matches up with that.
Next up, we have, going back to anime, realistically, is Inuyasha, and it's Sesshomaru. Oh man, I know I butchered that name. It's kind of cool to see. I believe this may be, if I'm not mistaken, the first Comic-Con exclusive Inuyasha pop.
Yeah, I believe it is, and I'm excited to see it as well. Obviously, not too long ago, we got that pretty decently sized wave of Inuyasha pops, so I feel like it's a good thing that they're pumping out more, because Inuyasha is a anime that kind of gets forgotten about nowadays, especially as to terms of Funko Pops.
Now, this next one was amazing to see on this list if it actually does happen. It's Johnny Knoxville from Jackass. This is pretty funny to see listed. Now, could it be Johnny Knoxville right from like 2001 where he still had a full set of black hair and he's younger? Or is it more of Jackass Forever? He's got the full gray hair, and who knows, maybe he's wearing his Super Johnny outfit that he wore at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I remember seeing the Johnny Knoxville now, and I'm excited about this. I think that it probably will be him with the gray hair. I don't think it really matters what version we get of him, but I would love to see more Jackass pops, especially if this one sells well. I mean, so many awesome pops, especially like moments pops of them doing different stunts, I think could be an amazing thing for Funko to think about.
Next up, we have ourselves a new Jimi Hendrix pop on the way, supposedly for SDCC, which it doesn't specify exactly what Jimi Hendrix it is, like whether it is from a specific concert, music video. We don't even know if it could be a pop albums for all we know, since Jimi Hendrix has one already, and it's possible that it could be a pop albums, or even maybe it's another blacklight pop, even though I wouldn't like that, considering that there's already been 2 blacklight pops. So a third one's just kind of overdoing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Jimmy Pops now, so it's not really super exciting, but maybe we will be surprised and it will be an awesome looking pop. Hopefully, because I feel like a new Jimi Hendrix isn't needed at this point.
Next up is for Jurassic Park, and it's of a baby raptor. Now, this doesn't seem like a bad idea. I mean, this year is the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park, and they have been pumping a lot of Jurassic Park pops as of late, especially that ad icons of Bullseye as John Hammond. I mean, it's a baby, so I mean, it'll sell pretty well, especially with a lot of different kinds of babies, whether it's baby Grogu for Star Wars. I mean, a lot of baby related characters will sell pretty decently, and this will probably be no exception.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I feel like it will sell well. Hopefully it looks cool. I would like to see like maybe like an egg or something like that with the pop. I think that that would be cool. And it makes sense for the 30th anniversary to have a bunch of Jurassic Park pops coming out.
Next up, we have Lord of the Rings, and it's Frodo Baggins. I don't exactly know what it could be for Frodo, because I know there is a lot of Frodos, obviously. They have been doing a lot of Lord of the Rings, especially in sodas recently. So now, what could it be for Pops? I have no idea, since I don't have much knowledge of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it could be either. I actually have no idea. I mean, we've seen quite a few. The soda that we've seen, you got the hood. So I don't know, maybe something like that, like a hooded variation. But I think it'll look sweet. And I feel like we don't get enough Lord of the Rings pops, at least recently.
Next up for Marvel, it is a new Wolverine pop. Now, it doesn't specify anything. Once again, it just says Wolverine. Could it be a regular Wolverine pop that's just a different colorway? Or could we get like the 8th pop comic covers that's just going to make MD tick off? Who knows? But I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense from the announcement of Wolverine being in the next Deadpool movie, but that still isn't releasing until the end of 2024. So why pump out more Wolverine pops right now?
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it's not another comic cover. I think that that would be a little bit ridiculous. Maybe we'll see like a Blacklight Wolverine. I don't know if we've had a Blacklight Wolverine besides like 80th anniversary Marvel one that we've seen, but like a Logan Blacklight I think would look kind of cool. So maybe we'll see something like that. I don't know.
Next up, we have ourselves a pop for the Classics lineup, and it's for Marvel, and they're going to be doing supposedly Spider-Man, which definitely makes sense. I mean, if you're going to do the first Marvel Classics pop, I feel like it's got to be Spider-Man. Spider-Man is like the face of Marvel realistically. Most kids, when they think of Marvel, they think of Spider-Man. And then especially with the recent release of Across the Spider-Verse, there's going to be a lot more Spider-Man stuff coming down the line.
Yeah, this makes sense to me too, to have Spider-Man get a Classics pop. It's a pop that I already own the original of, or at least like a remake of it. So I don't think I'll be getting it, but I do think it's a great idea.
Next up is a One Piece pop, not surprised, and it's Goldie Roger wanted poster. I'm actually kind of glad that they're moving away from the rides, because that was kind of getting a little too much. We had the Luffy ones that were all right, and then you had the, I can't remember, Trafalgar, I think it was, for WonderCon. And now we have the wanted posters, which they're all right. They have the Hot Topic one of Ace. I showed it off in the birthday pop hunt recently. So now they're doing one of Goldie Rogers. So, I mean, these, if they're at a decent price, might sell pretty well. I think regardless, because it's One Piece and how much detail there are in those pops, it's probably going to sell like hotcakes regardless, whether it is shared to like a Hot Topic or it's like Funko Shop.
This makes sense to me. I enjoy the wanted posters. I think that they will do good. I feel like If there's like, let's say if you have like 6 of them, I don't know how many there's supposed to be, but let's say if you had 6 of them and you had them displayed together, I think that that would look pretty sweet on a shelf or on a computer desk or something like that. So yeah, I think that this is interesting. Kind of surprised to see this for a con, especially with SDCC, but at the same time, I think that it's kind of ingenious.
Next up, we have ourselves Power Rangers, and it's Rita Repulsa. I don't know too much about Power Rangers. I think MD does a little bit better than I do, so he'll probably talk about this.
Yeah, Rita Repulsa, this is awesome. We have seen, I believe, 2 Rita Repulsa pops in the past. There was the, if I'm not mistaken, the Power Rangers like anniversary set that had come out. Maybe it was like 25th anniversary or something like that. And I believe there was a Rita Repulsa in that set. And then there was the Rita Repulsa 2-pack for the Power Rangers movie, the newer one that was with the Red Ranger, I believe. So hopefully it is a Saban's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers version of Rita Repulsa. I don't have a Rita Repulsa in my collection, so this would kind of be the one that I'd probably want to add, especially if it looks sweet. I would like to see her headpiece like look really cool and be a decent size, and I think that this would definitely be a cop for me.
Then we have Rise of the Beast, which I believe is the title for the next Transformers film, and it is Eraser. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Have no idea what this looks like or who this Transformer is, but yeah, I guess it's not surprising. The movie's releasing. I think it actually releases this week as this podcast gets released. So yeah, a lot of summer releases for these pops.
I'm excited to see this one. I'm not sure the name, so I don't know if it is a Transformer or a Beast Wars. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to watch the movie though, because I love the fact that Beast Wars is kind of mashing up with Transformers.
And then we have a new Scooby-Doo pop for Scooby-Doo. I don't know what this is, the same situation with like the Jimi Hendrix. I mean, there's been so many of Scooby-Doo himself. What could they possibly do? Is it Scooby-Doo? Obviously, it should be Scooby-Doo, like the animation, not like, let's say, the 2002 movie, although that would be pretty sweet if they did 2002 movie Scooby-Doo pops. But nonetheless, I mean, I guess I'll have to actually see the glam shot in order to really judge this pop.
Yeah, exactly. This thing could be awesome. It could be something like the 2002 movie, which I think would be sweet. I've actually just watched both of those movies recently. I think that it would be interesting to see that because I don't know how they'd really make it look a little bit more lifelike, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, this could be a bad pop because we have seen some Scooby-Doos that are pretty lackluster, or they might surprise us and give us something really cool that we'll like.
And then we have Shadow and Bone, and it's Alina Starkov. No idea what this is at all, so I can't even really discuss about this, whether it's a movie. Maybe it's a movie, because the list I'm looking at right now, the part of it is looking like it's more movies we're about to talk about, but I have no idea what to talk about this.
Yeah, I have no clue. I don't even think I've ever heard of this, but I might have to look it up and see what it's all about.
And then we have 2 pops for Star Wars. One is of Ahsoka Tano, and then the other one is listed as Ewok. There could be 2 ways that they do Ahsoka. It's either Ahsoka for, once again, the Clone Wars, because the anniversary is coming up in August, or it is the first pop to be announced for the upcoming Disney Plus Ahsoka series. And Ewok, I don't know if it's going to be another Wicket, or maybe it's another Ewok from Return of the Jedi to continue that 40th anniversary lineup.
Yeah, I feel like it can't be Wicket. I feel like Wicket is like too well known of a name. So I believe it probably will be a different Ewok. And that is great because that is something that I've mentioned on the pod before, that I love seeing the Ewok pops and I would love to get a ton of them because there's a ton of Ewoks.
And then it's looking like we may be getting a remake of pretty much a Grail pop, and that is the dude from The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, I saw this. This could be very interesting. I mean, it might be a lot different than the pop that we've seen before, and I think there might be a couple different Big Lebowski pops. I know this is going to sell well because there's such a huge fan base for such a like niche kind of movie.
And then we have a new Barry Allen for The Flash. I would have to once again see how this turns out because, once again, we've seen a couple of Barry Allens for the current set that's out. So I don't know what could be different considering the movie, as we're recording this, isn't releasing until next week.
Yeah, I actually think I'm supposed to go see the movie next week with a couple of coworkers. So maybe once I watch that, I could possibly pick out a scene that it could be from. But besides that, right now, I have no clue.
And then we have the live action Little Mermaid, and it's a pop of Ariel. Haven't seen the movie, so I can't dissect what scene it could be, but I'm not surprised it's another Ariel.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. It'll probably sell pretty decently.
Then going to Marvel Pops again, but more Marvel movies, is for the upcoming The Marvels movie, and it's a pop of Captain Marvel. I'm not entirely excited because I wasn't a fan of Captain Marvel, and I was not really a fan of Ms. Marvel, which you'll see both of them in that movie. So we'll see how it looks.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not much I can say for this one.
Then we got Thor Love and Thunder, and it's Valkyrie with Korg head. Although I hate this movie, this is a pop that I definitely wanted to see happen. That scene is funny with Valkyrie, and obviously if you've seen the movie with Korg and what happens to him, but then his head is still there, so she attaches it on the back of her head to kind of look at what's behind her, and Korg can tell her. So I think that'd be pretty funny, and unfortunately this would be a pop that if you were an inbox collector, you would have to take it out of the box in order to see Korg's face on the back.
Yeah, if that's the route that they're going with this, then that makes a lot of sense. I think this will look sweet. The Valkyrie pops I thoroughly enjoyed when we seen the waves of Thor Love and Thunder, so I'm sure this will be no exception to that and look pretty sweet.
Then we have Transformers, and it's Rodimus and Galvatron, and it's a 2-pack. And I'm assuming because it is listed as Transformers, that it's going to be the regular Retro Toys Transformers and not the Rise of the Beast movie, which is totally fine with me. It's once again more promotion for the movie, but it's for the lineup that I feel like more people would be invested in, unlike the movie.
Yeah, exactly. That makes a lot of sense. And I don't think we've seen any 2-packs for the Retro Toys Transformers, so this would be a first, and I think it'll look pretty sweet.
And then the last pop we're going to be discussing about is for a set that both MD and I collect. And I was pretty excited to see that there is a pop for this, and it's for Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's Guy the Fierce Knight. I was a little disappointed that it wasn't Time Wizard or if it was a flocked Karibo, but you never know. There could be an extra pop as a Funko Shop exclusive, because a lot of Funko Shop exclusive shared pops don't end up being on these leaked lists. So who knows, maybe there's two, but nonetheless, it seems like this will be the only one thus far for SDCC that I will for sure be buying as terms to pops. Now, is it going to be a 4-inch pop, or is it going to be the first pop rides? Because Guy the Fierce Knight is on a horse. So is it a pop rides? Could it be a 6-inch and it gets away with that, so we don't have to pay the pop rides price?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for this. I love when they pull out some old dual monsters. I think that that's perfect. And Gaia the Fierce Knight is one that obviously is an OG character. So I'm super pumped for this. Hopefully it is kind of that 6-inch scale. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if it was a full-on pop rides, but I think it's going to look sweet. And it's definitely a good choice for a character, though Time Wizard and Karibo are definitely two that we've really been thinking of. I'm surprised at this point that we haven't seen a Karibo at least, but Gaia is going to be sweet and I'm super excited for it.
And now we are looking at the Funko soda figures that were on this list. So I'm going to start right at the bottom because I feel like that's like the least reaction we'll probably get out of these ones. And that is Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and it's a Jessica Rabbit soda. And I'm actually going to predict here what the chase could possibly be. And I think it'd probably be like Diamond Collection glitter.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Super excited about this. I have the common, I believe, of the Roger Rabbit soda. So definitely excited to add a Jessica Rabbit. Hopefully I can get my hands on it. Hopefully it goes to, like, let's say GameStop. That'd be perfect. If not, maybe Toys R Us.
And then we're going to have 2 sodas supposedly for Cobra Kai, the Netflix show. And it's going to be of Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence. And I feel like it's just going to be outfit changes. So it's just going to be a color swap. There won't be really much difference.
Yeah, or it could be their commons are them in their keys, and then the chases could potentially be them in like their like streetwear or their like suits, considering like Daniel is a business owner, like a car dealership. So that kind of makes sense to me. Very excited about these. I feel like I can get 2 of these sodas, or like 1 of each. Hopefully get the commons unless the chases are amazing. Be happy with that for Cobra Kai and not have to go into trying to buy like Karate Kid pops and Cobra Kai pops.
Then we have Encanto, and it's Isabella. As terms to yeah, Isabella is the main character, right? So
yeah,
I would say glow in the dark because of the candle, right? I feel like that would be the chase.
Yeah, that could be the case.
And then this one was pretty amazing to see. It's Tony the Tiger from Frosted Flakes in a soda form. I feel like the only logical route has got to be flocked. What else are they going to do? What, soccer, like you mentioned earlier, or hockey outfit? Like,
yeah, that makes sense to me. I feel like it has to be flocked. If it's not, then maybe like glow in the dark, though that doesn't really make any sense. So yeah, it just flocked. I mean, that would be sweet. And then I could finally get a flocked Tony in my collection, considering I do have the Tony Pop, but did not splurge on the flocked version.
Then we have Power Rangers sodas, and it's Lord Zed. Yeah, that's one of the villains, I believe. And he has like that mask. I remember seeing the pop. I believe you have it in your pop room there. So I think metallic for the chase.
Yeah, metallic makes sense. I mean, it's one of those characters that could easily get away with just having a metallic chase.
And then last but not least, Star Wars Funko sodas, and they're 3-liter. And it's of Darth Vader and it's Chewbacca, a soda that MD's been wanting for a while. So for Darth Vader's chase, I hope it's not glow in the dark because of the lightsaber, just like the regular size Funko soda figure. It's got to be something like crazy to where it would make me want to get the chase, because I'm considering getting the Darth Vader for the sake of like, I want a 3-liter soda in my collection just to say I have it. I hope maybe it's destroyed mask like from the Obi-Wan, or just unmasked Darth Vader for the chase. And then of course, once again with Chewbacca, it's got to be flocked, but maybe one, like let's say the common has the bowcaster, and then maybe the chase doesn't have it because it's flocked.
Yeah, that could be the case. I feel like a flocked Chewbacca for a 3-liter soda would be crazy. That's a lot of flocking to do on one figure, considering they are pretty dang big. And for the Darth Vader, I would love to see, obviously, your common be Darth Vader, and then the chase be Anakin, but like Anakin in Revenge of the Sith, once he is like pronounced as Darth Vader. I think that that would be pretty cool, because yeah, I feel like there's got to be something prominent with the change. If it's just a glow-in-the-dark lightsaber or something like that, that would be terrible. But yeah, I probably will end up getting the Chewbacca, because like DK said, I mean, I've been looking for a Chewbacca soda. Does it make sense to have these in 3 liters? Not really. Maybe Chewbacca a little bit more than Darth Vader, because he is a big bloke. I don't know. Either way, I don't have a 3-liter soda, so it makes sense for my first one to be my favorite character from Star Wars with Chewbacca.
Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this edition of a Funko Popcast. And if you enjoyed this edition, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we hope to see you guys next week for our special 200th edition of a Funko Popcast, which will be titled The Greatest Funko Pops of All Time. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
They're great. Peace in, peace out.